All right, what we are doing here, this is guided practice 3.7. We're dividing decimals by a whole number, and then it says divide, which we'll do, and then it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So if there's a hundredth in the problem, it wants you to round it to the nearest tenth. Okay? So let's do these. Okay, so I have 3.6 divided by 4. Now remember, in the teaching video, all you do with the decimal is you just move it right up. Boop. Once it's on top, you go straight up. Now you don't even worry about the decimals. You just say, okay, 4 goes into 3, 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract that out. That's 3. I bring down my 6. How many times does 4 go into 36? 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36. Subtract that out. I get 0. No more numbers to pull down. My answer is 0.9. And that is the tenth, so I don't need to round it. It works just like that. Okay. Let's go over here. I'm going to make this real big. It's easier for me to work this way. So 12.32, see my decimal there, divided by 22. These are bigger numbers, going to be a little guess and check. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to take my decimal and put it right on top there. Okay. Now, does 22 go into 1? No, it doesn't. So there's nothing going to be there. Does 22 go into 12? No, nothing going to be there. Does 22 go into 123? Yes. And I'm going to guess about 5 times. So let me see here. 22 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Yep, if I would do one more, it'd be in the 130s. So, okay, 5 times 22 is 110. I subtract that. That's 3, 1, 2. Okay, because I bring that 2 down. Now, how many times does 22 go into 132? Well, 5 was here. Let me try 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 132. Oh, that's exactly what I need. 132. Subtract that out. 0. I'm good to go. So my exact answer is 0.56. But in the answer, or in the directions, it said to round to the nearest tenth. So here's the tenth. This 6 tells me that I need to go up. So my answer is actually 0.6. This is the exact answer, but when I'm rounding it to the nearest tenth, it becomes 0.6. Okay. Number 3. 69.904 divided by 34. Okay. First thing we do is we take our decimal point and we send it to the top. Boop. All done. Okay. Now 34 can't fit into 6, but 34 can go into 69. I would say 2 times, because 2 times 34 is 68. Okay, subtract that, gets me 1. Gonna bring down my 9. All right, how many times does 34 go into 19? 0 times. 0 times 34 is 0. Subtract that out, I get 19. Now I bring down my next number, which is 9. Now, how many times does 34 go into 199? I got to do a guess and check here. I'm going to do 5. 34 times 5. So 5 times 4 is 20. 15 plus 2 is 17. 170. I don't think we can go any more than that. So, I'm going to say 5. 5, and that'll be 170. I subtract that out, that's 9, 2. Then I bring down my last number, 4. So 34 into 294. I'm going to go, let's see here. 10 would be 340. That's too much. I might do 9. Let me try 9. 34 times 9. You can see how I'm just doing some guess and check here. 36, 9 times 3 is 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, 30. That's going to be too much, so it must be 8. 34 times 8. That's 32, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27. There it is. 8, 272. And that gets me to, okay, so it's that with a remainder of 22. But it's rounding it to the nearest tenth. So here's my nearest tenth right here. I look to the number next to it. This 5 tells me I need to go to a 1. So my answer is 2.1. Okay. I probably could have quit. I probably didn't have to do all of this. Once I got these 3, then I could see that I was going to round it up, and my answer is going to be 2.1. Okay? But if you did it, great. You saw me do it. That's fine. All right, let's go here. Light travels 5.8 trillion miles in a year. How far will it travel in 1 month? Okay, so we know that a year has 12 months. So it is going to be 5.88 divided by 12. Move the decimal up. How many times does 12 go into 5? 0. Okay, I subtract that 5. Bring down my 8. Goes into there 4 times because that's 48. And that would be 0, 1. And then I bring down my 8, 108. I would say 12. If it was 10, it'd be 120. So I'm going to try 9 because it seems pretty close. 18, 9, 10, 108. It's exactly 9. 108. Subtract 0. There's nothing else to bring down. So the answer is 0.49. Okay? Let's do one more as a guided, and then we'll go do some independent. 4 dozen bagels cost $30. How much change will you receive if you pay for a dozen bagels with a $10 bill? 4 dozen bagels cost $30. Okay, I want to know how much 1 dozen cost. So I need to take my $30 divided by 4. This will get me what 1 dozen bagels cost. Okay, so 4 goes into 3 0 times. Subtract that out. 3, bring down my 0. How many times does 4 go into 30? Let's see, 6, 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract that out, it gives me 2. Now, 7, but there is a decimal point always right next to a number like that. It's kind of like the period of the number. And if I put that up here, and if there's a decimal here, I can always add a 0 so I can keep going. So now I have 20. How many times does 4 go into 20? 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Now that gets me exactly 0. All right, so per dozen bagels, it's 7.5. Okay, $7.50 per bagels. Now it's saying if I pay with a $10 bill, what will my change be? So $10 bill minus 7. Line up my decimals. Okay, that'd be 0. Then I borrow from here, that becomes a 10. Borrow from there, it becomes a 9. And this becomes a 10. So that's 5. When I'm subtracting, my decimals just fall down. They line up and fall down. 9 minus 7 is 2. And then 0. So my change is going to be $2.50. Okay? So first you had to figure out how much 1 dozen bagels cost. You knew 4 cost 30, so you divided that to get the cost of 1 dozen, which is $7.50. And then if you pay with a $10 bill, you subtract the $10. You take the 10, subtract the $7.50, and you're left with a change of $2.50. All right? So that's the guided practice. Go ahead and go to independent practice and see what you can do.